Hey Airgun guys, how you doing? I apologize it's been so long since I made a video for you, but today should hopefully make up for it. I finally got the Skout STX barrel. I did the liner, I did a custom barrel, I ordered the carbon fiber sleeve. I had one remade by Skout, and that was the 30 caliber, which I modified, but I completely made this one. They sent me like the front, the front where it attaches to the suppressor, and the rear, where the probe inserts, the transfer port. But I ended up machining inserts to go into them to fit the STX barrel perfectly. So it's the exact outside diameter of their barrel, and it's the exact inside diameter of the STX liner. So that insert goes in the front and the back, which those inserts I will sell on my website. So I'll link the website down below, and I'll sell those inserts. So if you have a barrel, it won't have all the other stuff that I did to it, which you can actually order separately if you wanted me to do that for you. But the two inserts will allow you to put an STX liner in here. What I did is I did the STX liner carbon fiber sleeve that goes in the regular FX barrel. I did that. Then I did the FX outer barrel, 800 millimeter, and I did that. Outside of that, I did a piece of aluminum that I machined to fit the exact inner diameter of this carbon fiber outer barrel, and the exact outer diameter, the inner diameter is the exact outer diameter of the FX barrel. So essentially there's no room for this thing to move inside. It's completely packed in there, and it seats perfectly centered in the transfer port, perfectly centered in the front. And I swear to God, I think this is more accurate on this gun than it is in the FX. It's pretty mind-blowingly accurate. I had an entire magazine go through a 1-inch target. So I'm gonna change the targets here, and then after I show you this, I have a couple of mags full of these are 40 grain 25 caliber. This is in 25. I did 122, 125, and then I modified the 30 that they made. So I'm gonna just put some new targets on here so you can see exactly where I'm hitting, and I'm going to also. The Edgun, I had some questions on the Edgun, and I wanted to address those. So it's in 35 caliber right now. I decided to try it in 35 caliber recently, and I'm glad that I did, because it came out, I mean, it worked pretty well. Oh, that's not good. How did that end up there? Okay, let's see if I can fix that. I got one of my camera wires for the cameras in my building going right through the wire to my target retrieval system. So every time it comes back, I haven't obviously been shooting a lot. So just to update you guys, I did not make it to NAC. I've had a lot of personal issues going on. I mean, I'll just tell you, my mother was diagnosed with inoperable cancer, and I obviously didn't make it to the competition. I had a lot of personal stuff going on, and I couldn't obviously prioritize a competition over that. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it there, which is regrettable, but it's not, under the circumstances, it's not that regrettable, because I wouldn't do it any differently if I had it to do again. But I did. That was really the one that I wanted to make out of all of them this year, because they had that 700-yard extreme long range that I was looking forward to using the Rattler in, and I was kind of disappointed about that. But anyways, you know, family comes first, so family came first. But that's why I didn't make it. So in case you guys are wondering, because the last video I did, it was the night before, and it was late, and I was packing up, and I honestly didn't make it originally because I had that job that I had told you guys about, doing the work on the dentist office, and I had to catch up on that. But then I found out about my mom shortly after, and it's just been, that's why I haven't made a lot of videos, and it's just been kind of a roller coaster. So I apologize that I haven't had a lot of videos out recently. But there's good reason for it is the bottom line. But I will try to make up for it for you guys in the coming weeks and months. So I'm gonna put some fresh targets on here so you guys can see everything I'm hitting or not hitting, because I don't think there will be a lot of not hitting with this gun at the very least. The Edgun it's pretty accurate in 35 caliber when you use some decent pellets or slugs. I'm gonna shoot it with both. I actually had I had used it as a 357 for a while. So I only have one magazine here because I only had two. I didn't buy any extras because I didn't plan on using it as a 35, and I'm still not going to. I'm gonna change it back to a 25 today. That's the other part. I'm gonna show you guys how to change the barrel if you don't know already, because somebody did mention that. So I said I would do that video, and that was a while ago, so it's overdue. But I'm gonna do it now. When I change that, I will also shoot it as a 25 and let you see the accuracy with that. I think the accuracy is better with the 25 caliber. I didn't change any jets. I just changed the barrel and the magazines. That's pretty much all you have to do in that because there's no probe. So I'm gonna go turn on the downrange camera. I'll be right back. And a couple of people were saying, not a couple, there was one in particular, had a, misery loves company, so people like to bring you down to their level when they're miserable, and that's just life. That's just humanity. What are you gonna do? Unfortunately for them, it doesn't work with me. I don't get brought down by other people's BS. I don't let it affect me. All right, 10 seconds, and then with this we'll be recording as well. So in less than 10 seconds, you'll see it on the screen. But anyways, they wanted to talk, run their mouth. Where do I get my meth? Yeah, oh yeah. I own a multi-million-dollar company and 19 units with a $37,000 a month rent roll, and I'm a fucking meth addict. Like really, dude. I mean, these people don't even take a second to think, like, how does this guy keep his life together and run a successful business if he's on meth? You're gonna say something like that to me? Seriously? I mean, it's just pathetic. Anyways, the point is that yes, I have ADD. Obviously, I don't think I needed to tell you that. I don't think I needed to tell any of you guys that I'm ADHD. I think it's pretty evident by the way I get involved in this stuff. But regardless, it's not something I expect people to leave in comments like, where do you get your meth? Dude, I mean, what kind of a thing is that to say? I've never left a negative comment to anyone because they take their time to make these videos that I learn from, and I take the time to make them for you guys to learn from, and or to see things that you're interested in buying before you buy them and what the capabilities are, or to even make modifications for you that make them better. So why would I have anything negative to say about anybody else doing the same thing? It's just, I mean, some people just have nothing better to do because they don't have any life. But it is what it is. So anyway, the downrange camera's on. I'm going to show you just how accurate this Skout is with the STX liner in 25 caliber first, and hopefully you can see the chronograph. I have the Garmin. I forget the name of the chronograph. The Garmin chronograph that I did a review on not that long ago. Up there, I don't know if you can see it or not, but I'll read out to you the velocity. And I'm gonna take maybe like 3 or 4 5-shot groups, and then I'll bring out the 35 caliber Edgun, and then I'll make it a 25 caliber, and then I'll do accuracy and velocity testing with those. All right, so right now I'm going for the center of the left-hand target that I just put up, the big target in the middle. Oop. This gun does have to warm up in the beginning, so you'll see they're not very spread out. They're still all in the middle, in the red, but they're more spread out than they will be on the next magazine. I'll finish the magazine here, and then I'll do the next magazine. There is a setting on this gun to set that not to do that on the first shot or the first several shots, but I haven't taken the time to work on that, as I haven't had really time to work on too much personal stuff recently for myself. So the velocity is 944 that last shot. 939. 941.9. 941.7. Now it's settling in. Because this is hooked up to a 9-liter tank, 937.4. All right, so now, how many shots do I have left? I've got a handful. I'm gonna go for, by the way, I 3D printed this monopod, which has a fully adjustable, the foot for it is fully adjustable to raise and lower it. It actually works really well. I'm gonna go for the top left target on the left hand large target. The top left bullseye. Okay, that was everything I had left. I wasn't gonna adjust for it because I know exactly where I need to adjust, but I'm going right through the same hole, as you can see. So I'm gonna adjust for it now. All right, let's see how that goes. I love my stud magazines, man. I won't use anybody else's magazines. I mean, I won't buy them. If I already have them, I'll use them, but I don't buy anybody else's magazines. And yes, I still do, even though he sponsors me, I still do buy them a lot of the time. I mean, he does send me stuff, don't get me wrong, he's very generous, but I still do buy a lot of my stuff. All right, I'm gonna go for the center of that same target and see if I zeroed it right. Oop, a little low. Let's see, 2 clicks it looked like for 50 yards. Oh, maybe it was only 1. Yeah, there we go. All right, I'm going to the target on the right of that. That's the top right target on the left-hand large target. See, I notice if I take just a second in between shots, it's right on. But if I fire a little too quick, I don't think the, maybe I have to adjust the pressures because, yeah, my high side could go a little higher. Oh, that one is a flyer. You still got a flyer here and there, but, or that actually could have been me. Let me turn turn the light on. This is my LRPS5. I like this scope a lot. It's just a small light in the middle. It's not the whole reticle that lights up, which is actually kind of nice. All right, let's do that on a new target. I'll go to the bottom right. So as you can see, I mean, I've done better, but when I was obviously shooting it more, I took like 2 or 3 shots before I started the video. I did not do any practice shooting with this before I started this. So I didn't get to warm up, and I haven't been shooting nearly as much as I usually do. I've been, bringing my mother back and forth to the oncologist and all different appointments, and it's kind of been some pretty heavy stuff. So anyways, I don't want to go into any details because I don't want to bring anybody else down with stuff like that. It's not the kind of stuff you want to hear, or talk about, or not the kind of stuff I want to talk about. But it's not good. So it's emotional, and it's like messes with your day-to-day life, because you're thinking like, how much time do I have left before she's gone? And anyways, I don't want to go any further into it. But so anyways, there's a good reason, but I apologize. I haven't had too much airgun content left recently. I mean, even like the 3D printers I was building, I mean, they're all done. And I have a bunch of videos of the remaining part of the process and of them finished printing with like the high temperature one with extremely high temperature material. The Voron 2.4 I built, I have video of it printing at like crazy speeds. I haven't even aired any of it yet. And I was gonna start printing the 3D printed parts in high-end material, like nylon and polycarbonate and stuff that other people don't offer it in. And I haven't even aired those videos yet to even show the 3D printed parts that I made, because I haven't had a lot of time to do a lot of this stuff. I mean, the printers have been done for a while. There's been a couple small modifications that I've been making to the Voron, and anyways, this is an airgun video. I won't get too far into it, but the reason I'm mentioning it is because just to make the point that I have really not had a lot of time to do. I mean, even the videos that I made on stuff like that, and even other airgun videos I have made, I haven't edited and put up just because of the sheer volume of time that I've been spending on that. And plus my regular job, obviously. So anyways, I'm gonna go for the one more target on this card. And that other one was totally me. I adjusted 940.2. I'm right around, staying in the same range. I'll show you the extreme spread. I have one card that I sent to Bill, one of the owners of Skout, and it was every single shot in an entire magazine 25 caliber in that same size target that I'm shooting right now, that same 1-inch square, I had an entire magazine go through without penetrating the outside of the square. So I mean, it's pretty incredible, the accuracy. All right, so now I'm just shooting through the same hole. I'm gonna go for the black box above it to the left, inside the yellow box. Oh, a little low. The box right next to that, right in the middle, right above the other one. Next one over. Whoa, that one was way off. Let me grab a little tighter grip. Okay, same box. Next one down. All right, next one below that. Next one on the left of that. Whoops. On the left, I meant. That was on the right. All right, left of that. Little low. On the left of that. One above that. Okay. Let me just do a few more shots in a random box. I'm gonna go in the bottom left corner of the larger yellow square around the large red square in the middle up top, in the middle of the larger target in the middle. The bottom left black square in that yellow center square. I'm gonna do 5 there. All right, so that's 5 shots, 1 hole. I don't really know that I could do much better with my impact in 25 caliber. I might have to try it just so I know. But I'm gonna shut this tank off. I'm gonna grab the Edgun with the 35 caliber, and I'll show you guys how that does. I've got some store-bought 35 caliber slugs here. These are H&N Grizzly. These are 80 grain, I believe. I think they are 80 grain. Pretty sure. I have another 10 of them. I'll tell you for sure in a second. I'll grab them with this. I mean, with the gun. All right. All right, so I've got an empty mag. I'm gonna put 8 of these in here. Oh, let me get the other 10 of them so I can tell you exactly what they are. Where are the rest of those? I did have another 10 of them, didn't I? Those are 30 cal. I have 30 cal poly mags. I don't have 35. Most of the 35 stuff that I have are the ones that I press. I do have some pellets though, and I'm going to bring some pellets out. Let me just put those in a tin. I'll put a handful of these. I'm going to do a mag or two with the slugs because I might have to adjust the scope. I haven't shot in this in a while. And I'm going to do a mag or two in pellets and let you guys see how they do in the Edgun with 35 caliber. I favor the 25, and I actually am probably going to do a 22 barrel for this and magazines. I had a couple of extra of the Measy gauges, and a couple of them weren't working, which I still have 2 on this gun that work, but I had gotten a couple extra. I had them on my Panthera, as a matter of fact. And I ended up ordering different digital gauges because they weren't working. And Matthias, he's the man. He's awesome over there. Really, hopefully I meet him at a competition one of these years because he's been really great. I really like that guy. Anyways, you know, I know the address that I have to send stuff back to when there's a problem, and I sent it over there. And you know, I told him about my mom, and because I was really late sending it back to him, like way late, like I don't know, since I got the gun up, or just after, up until last week I sent them back. So, and he didn't give me any problem. He's very good dude. All right, let me zoom. This is only a 2 to 10 scope, but it's perfect for this gun. All right, let's see. I'm gonna go for the center because I'm not sure how far off I'm gonna be right at the beginning. All right, I shot one. Velocity 818. Let's see, second shot was right on, and that's 786. And my pressure is 272 bar, and my reg is at 172. I might turn the reg up a little bit for this. Actually, I have the adjuster right here. I will turn it up. All right, there's 187, 188, 189, 191, 192, 193 on the regulator. 193. All right, let's see what we get now. That's pretty on. 813.3. That one bounced a little bit when I shot it. I gotta hold it a little tighter. There we go. Right in the same hole. That one was just to the right a little bit again. This UltraPod, I gotta say, compared to the original version, he made so many improvements. This thing is really beefed up now, and I haven't done any damage to it, and I usually do damage to things. Like, he made this thing incredibly strong, and it's perfect for guns like this that don't have a monopod, that are small, that you're not going to put a monopod on. They're not bench guns. It's perfect for this gun, and it really stabilizes it, and you can actually swing it left and right with the XY axis that he put on here, which is really nice. So you have your up and down and left and right movement with one hand. Okay, let's see if I can get right in the center of that center target. Yeah, there we go. And what's my velocity? 813.9. See, when I give it a minute to fill that big old plenum this gun has 137 cc plenum, so it takes a minute to fill it. But once you fill it, you get much better consistency and accuracy. All right, same spot. Oh. The only downside of this gun is the 8-shot magazine. That's it's a little frustrating to fill over and over, but It is what it is. It's honestly for what I use it for. I use it for a truck gun, and I take it with me when I'm out doing lawns, when I'm out whatever, going to my properties to do whatever needs to get done. I take it with me, so when I see squirrels, I you know, have a little compact truck gun instead of taking out a big ass rifle that people think is an assault rifle, like the Impact or the Panthera or the Rattler. This is a nice compact small gun that I can just put away real quick, and it's nice and small and easily concealable. So 22 and 25 are going to be my best calibers for this. I just have the 35 because it came with it. In fact, if anybody's interested in getting a 35 setup, I would sell the 2 titanium magazines and the barrel, no problem. I mean, you know, for whatever's a reasonable price for them. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna go for the top left target. A little high. Let's see if that was me or the gun. No, it's a little high. All right. All right, let's see how that does. Velocity was 812.4. There we go. I knew that first one was me because I just zeroed it. It's still going high once in a while. Oh, I didn't let it fill enough. Here, let me give it some air. Because I'm down to almost 200 and my rig's almost at 200. There we go, 250, 260, almost 270. I think that's all that bottle's got after filling that gun, the other gun, the Skout, a couple of times. I'd like to leave it tethered, but it's kind of, well, let's see, maybe I could do this. Open this back up, pull this under here. Yeah, we could do that. All right, same target, trying for the center. Here we go, a little right. One more mag with 35, and then I'll show you guys how easy it is to change the caliber on this gun. And I actually did make a custom STX. I cut one of my STX liners to the size of this gun because I have a bunch of 25 because I ended up, I just ended up getting too many barrels. I have 2 impacts. I ended up, and I have all 3 calibers for each. And then I ended up getting, no, I didn't get all 3 calibers for each. I got 2 for one and all 3 for the other. Because I tried their 35 and I ended up sending it back for a 30 because 35 is too big for the impact. Because it would, honestly, this I feel like is too big for this gun as well. Even though the energy levels are very high because of the weight of the projectile, I like it. I like 1,000 feet a second at least, or close to it. I don't really like to be much below that. All right, I'm gonna go to the target right next to it on the right, and I'll save the bottom 2 for the 25. Not bad. shooting too quick. That's why that one was off. All right, we'll dump one more mag. I'm not gonna, I mean, it should be filling pretty quick because it's got a consistent flow of air because I got it tethered to this 9 liter. But yeah, the reg's right back up to 190. But it takes a minute to transfer from the reservoir, whether it's being consistently filled or not, into the plenum, because the plenum is pretty big. I mean, 137 is double what the FX Impact is, so it's a big plenum. Now you see they went a little low when I started shooting fast. So what I'm going to do is, if you guys, and the velocity went down to 792.3, where it was at 8 and change, and that's going to be consistent when you fire that fast. I mean, it's a rapid fire gun. I mean, I could shoot 8 shots out of this. You know, back as fast as you can pull the trigger. I mean, it's definitely that kind of gun, but you definitely do lose velocity and a little bit of accuracy. Obviously, not much accuracy. You can see how little it actually. You can see how little it actually lost. That's one of the O-rings on this fill probe. I hate fill probes. That's the only negative about this gun. I hate the fill probes. I really do. I would like to. I mean, the design that they have here, you know, you can close it when you don't have the probe in, which is nice. But with the way I shoot, I mean, the velocities I shoot, maybe with the 22 barrel and magazines, I won't have to have it up as high, and I'll get a higher shot count because it's a 470 or 480 bottle. This is a. Or is it a 450? Let's see. No, it's a 470 cc bottle, and the plenum is 130. So, I mean, if I was shooting 22s and I could turn it down, that would make a big difference. But in the meantime, I'll put a new O-ring on this. I'll show you guys how to do that while I'm at it. I'm gonna go shut off the downrange camera. I'll turn it back on before I shoot the 25, and then we'll go ahead and swap out the barrel and show you how to do that. And I'll just show you briefly the STX barrel that I made for it. I didn't get as accurate of results as I wanted to. Oh, this stopped at half an hour anyway. So it wasn't off for too long, but I'll shut it off all the way so the battery doesn't die. So hopefully you didn't miss much of that on the downrange camera. It has already been a half hour I've been recording, I guess so. So anyways, I will bring you in here with me and change the barrel and show you that real quick. But I'm hoping that when I get the 22 caliber stuff for it, that I will be able to get a higher shot count and not have to worry so much about the bottle size and whatnot. Because 22 is actually good for what I use it for, because I'm in neighborhoods where it's just too sketchy to be shooting you know, larger calibers around where you have houses close by with you know, God forbid there's kids playing outside. I mean, I'm very careful when I shoot anyways, obviously. I haven't had any incidents. I'm very cautious before I take a shot. So this is some of my Skout. As you can see, I've made quite a few Skout barrels, and I have, these are the carbon fiber shrouds that I buy. It's the same inner and outer diameter as the original, or are very, very close, like within a millimeter for the inner and outer diameter. But these are a more gloss finish. There's a matte finish. These are gloss finish. I got a couple with matte finish. I got quite a few because I made a couple for people, and all the ones that I made for myself, which I have, you know, like 4 laying around. This is one of the probes for the 30 cal that I just changed. Skout. Put that in there. Okay. So before I put the other one in, this is the STX barrel that I made for the Edgun, and this is in a 25 caliber, as I think I've mentioned. I should have an open-end wrench somewhere. There we go. I think this is a 10 millimeter, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. Okay. So you'll see I have an STX liner. I cut it and then I machined it down on my lathe so that it's still beveled at the end like they usually are when you get them. I don't know how well you guys can see that, but that's the side that I beveled, and then this is the original side. So it still came out good. It's very straight. It just doesn't, maybe if I machine something to put in here between the two, because I'll show you the amount of space that it has. So it's got this much space around it. It's a good amount of space. I mean, this is an outer FX barrel, so I could use the carbon fiber sleeve. That would do it. And I do think I have like pieces of them. This is a pretty good size piece. That's almost half of this. Maybe if I put another piece like this, one at the front, one at the back, that would probably fill it. I should probably do that and try it. I mean, if I get back to this gun where I'm focused on it, then I'll do it. But I gotta really be focused on it, because if I don't get it dead right, then it's not gonna be. I'm just gonna get all obsessive about it until I do get it right, because that's my OCD, or my meth, as some people would think. I don't do drugs, just so anybody that's curious knows. I don't do drugs at all, none of them. I don't even smoke weed, even though it's legal now. I never was interested in it. I'm not interested in it. When I was 15, I did, but you know, not ever since, and I'm 42. I'm gonna get a rubber mallet for this. So I'm just tapping this down with a rubber mallet. I'm curious to see how it'll shoot with this now. I'm gonna have to take the back side out. And this is machined perfectly to seat the other end of the FX liner, which I'll show you. So yeah, it actually was starting to seat in there. That's why I need to get the rest of that down. But it's gonna seat perfectly in there. I just need to get the carbon fiber all the way in, and then I can pop this up a little more, and it'll seat in the front threaded part. I actually have to get it down there a little bit further than that, which I could probably do with a 30 caliber barrel liner. This is my 730 caliber, because mostly I've been using all 800s. I'm probably gonna have to put this in a vise. Or maybe I'll just put it in a vise and use a punch. Here, I'll bring you guys with me. Let you see how I do this stuff. And then this is a recent addition to my smaller workshop over here. If you guys have seen my other videos, you know I have a much bigger workshop in the back with my CNC machine and my lathe and whatnot. But this is my smaller workshop, but this is a thread tapping machine, a thread tapping arm. And these are incredible. I mean, I've stopped breaking thread taps, And I do a lot of thread tapping, tapping and tap and die stuff for threads, whether it be for automotive. Oh, that was just the right size to go in there, of course. Whether it be for automotive or it be for a lot of times I machine the part and then I thread it. For the 3D printers, I machined a lot of parts. Here we go. That's tapping the barrel down. No, I don't have one big enough. That's my biggest punch. I need one big enough to push the carbon fiber down, which I don't know that I have, so I might have to use, let's see, maybe my real big Phillips will do it. No, that's not quite big enough. Oh, you know what? One of these reversing bits. That's a little bit too small. That next one looks like it's going to be too big. It'll get it down there a little bit. Oh yeah. All right, that's as far as I can go though, but that's down a little bit. And then maybe I can get it a little further with this. These are my reversing tools for when things get stuck. All right, that should be good. Okay, threads are still good on that side. And even if they weren't, I could just retap them. But I'll put this back. And the thread taps, I mean, I have a ridiculous amount. These are all thread taps up there. If you can see, let's see, where are you looking? Right there on the top of my Milwaukee thing. Those are all thread taps. And then in here, this is all the collets that come with that. If any of you guys are interested in the thread tapping arm, these are the collets that come with it that fit your thread taps. And then I have way more in my big shop in the back, but I brought a lot of the stuff up here since I got this, and those are 2 more racks that I 3D printed that are all full of thread taps. But these are all the collets that come with it, and then these are things that I machined to fit in the collets. Like I have a drill chuck that I machined a JT2 to fit into like something like this. This is a thread tapping attachment for the lathe, which I can also just undo these 2 set screws, take this out, and put one in that goes back in the lathe. Or actually, this may even just still fit in the lathe. I haven't tried it. But this goes into one of these. I forget which one it is. Yep, this one. And it locks right in. And I can do outside threads or inside threads with this, because this piece at the end comes off, and then these 2 other sizes go in for outside threads. But there's also an attachment for the right here. These are the attached, so these can go in rather than those. This is the smaller one, and the larger one to fit any size tap. But the thing is, you lose a lot of height, so it's got to be something lower. You're going to actually be right there. So for female threads, it's okay. I mean, I could raise this up, but I just haven't needed to. And I have this, I got this extra pole to mount in my big shop. So if I ever need this in the back shop, I can just disconnect the wire, just pulls right out. And then I can just pull this out here, bring it to the back, and then use it in my other shop. So that's why I set that up that way, and I ordered the extra pole to mount it. But anyways, back to the air guns. So I'm going to just fit this stuff together, and then I just might try this STX this way with the carbon fiber in the middle. It might be more accurate than it was previous. So this is that part that I showed you earlier that seats the original FX STX right into that in the back. Okay. And then this is the original FX that seats it in the front. This is what you would put in your regular FX liner. So actually I already rethreaded. These are the original threads in the back, and then I cut this short and rethreaded the top. I just measured these threads on this, and I threaded the inside of this for it. which I didn't actually buy that when I did this. I did this by hand. I bought that because when I was doing that high temperature 3D printer, it's all metal. It's a steel housing, and it's, you know, it's heavy duty metal stuff. It's almost like a CNC, because it's an industrial printer. So I had broken so many M3 and M4 thread taps. I got so frustrated, I started looking into alternative ways to tap things, and I found that. And I found a pneumatic one and then the electric one, and everybody was raving about the electric one. So that's what I got, was the electric. I didn't even try the pneumatic. And I'm very appreciative that I did, and I listened to those reviews, because it's very impressive how much torque you get. I've tapped an M36 hole with that. And you set the torque, how much torque you want, and it's unbelievable that it actually does that M36 with no hesitation, and it doesn't screw it up. It's actually pretty mind-blowing. So I mean, these usually you have to read the diameter and all that kind of stuff. I do know this it could be the next one down. I think this is the right O-ring, but I'm just gonna try the next one down just in case, because it looks like it could be either one. They're a very small difference. I mean, they're obviously, it's like 0.5 millimeter difference. The diameter of the O-ring is the same. It's just the diameter of the O-ring itself. It's just the inner diameter that's a slightly different. Yeah, this one does fit better. And then I have O-ring lubricant, which silicone grease is good, but the O-ring lube is better. It's like a thinner consistency, but it's very thick for oil. Like if you were to use silicone oil, it's way thinner than this, and then the grease is way thicker. So this is like a good middle ground, and it's literally made for O-rings. So this stuff is actually really good. And then this Mr. O-ring, I have to recommend them for O-rings, and I have a ton. This is only some of the O-rings that I have that are nearby here. Like I have a whole thing with trays of different sizes, and all these different kits of all different size O-rings, and those are by far my favorite. These are by far my favorite. I don't know why they're colored. I'm sure that there's a reason, but the quality of them is out of this world in comparison to most of the black ones you find. They're made incredibly well, incredibly strong. The durometer ratings are the same as any others that you would buy, but I honestly would recommend those over just about anything else. So I'm going to change the barrel. I'll pop off this bipod. I'll leave everything else on the shroud. Take off the quick disconnect. Oh, that's threaded on where it's not coming off. There we go. I usually Loctite the quick disconnect on. And then you have four 4mm bolts on here. Where's my 4mm Allen? 3, that's bigger than 3. That's just 5 or 6. I have a 4mm somewhere. Okay. Is it a 3mm maybe? I'm sorry, it's a 3mm. Now that I look closer at it too. You have 4 3mm on the shroud, which I have them in there pretty good, so I'll use the short end. Okay, so you crack those loose. Yeah, I had them in there really good. All right, so I'm going to crack all 4 of them, and then I'll take those out, and then I'll show you there's a couple of things that you need to avoid doing when you change the barrel on this, because there's a part that you can easily break when you pull the old barrel out. And yes, I found that out the hard way. I actually knew about it, and I didn't do it the first time. I did it like one of the other times that I was changing the STX, because I was doing it in a rush like a moron, and I broke the little wheel that the that rotates the magazine. It goes right in front of the barrel when there's no magazine there. And when it does, you know, you can easily break it when you pull the barrel out or in. So, because you pull it in from the back and out from the back. And I may have to loosen, I have an Arca grip thing on here for when I want to put it on a tripod. No, that wasn't far enough on the other part for that to bother anything. And then also I'm going to have to take off this QD anyway, so it's a good thing it was a little loose. I thought I had a wrench over here somewhere. No. Okay, let me grab an open end wrench real quick. So this quick disconnect comes off. Oh, and then I think I do need the 4mm, if I'm not mistaken, for the four set screws that hold the barrel in place. All right. Let's check on that. No, they're 3s also. I don't know why I thought they were 4s. Okay, and then this quickly and easily comes off. If you can get a grip on it, it does. So this little red button here. Oh, let me turn you guys where you can see what I'm doing. Sorry about that. This little red button right here, when you push that back, that's what releases it. And then I'll take the mag out. So this right here is your wheel, and I did get the upgraded one that has a metal wheel. This comes with a plastic wheel. I actually got the upgraded whole entire lower for it. So this is your pistol grip and your trigger and your. I put a. This is the ergo grip. The straight ergo grip. I put that on here because it gives you more room with the bottle, and this is the Huma Air bottom half for this gun. It's definitely, and this makes it all metal because this is the only some sort of plastic. It's like the type of plastic that you see on an AR or something. It's quality, you know, carbon. It's not carbon fiber. It's why can't I think of the name right now? I'm having a brain fart, but I know the name. I can't think of it right now. But anyways, it's a quality material. I can show it to you. I have the old one. But this one is all aluminum. It's actually nice and light, and it's very strong. So when you take this out, and I recommend this as an upgrade. This is cheap. It's like $10 or $20, $18 or something. But now you have a metal you know, cylinder or bearing here that's rotating the magazine rather than plastic, and it's a lot more sturdy and reliable. So there you go. As long as you hold that down until the barrel starts coming out, then you're good. And then pop the barrel out the rest of the way. And this is my 35, and these are Alpha Precision barrels. I do Alpha Precision barrels because they're not choked. And Lothar Walther, for anybody who doesn't know, actually makes the Alpha Precision. It's the same manufacturer, so you're not getting any less quality. It may, I don't know if they consider it their budget version or what, but it's slightly less expensive. It's less than $100 difference, but you know, that difference is for when you're shooting slugs. You need this barrel because I've literally had in the Lothar Walther barrels on a Priest that I had, the Priest 2. I've had a slug get stuck in the barrel at the end of the barrel, and with the pressure pushing it, it's not an easy feat. Let me get the rubber mallet to tap that through nice and easy. Where did I just put that? Oh, I had it over here. Sorry about that, guys. Coming right back. go. Just a few light taps. Make sure you use a rubber mallet if you do things the way I do. Just don't use an actual hammer. And then the tricky part is you have to hold that down while you're doing this. And the 25 caliber compared to the 35 as well as my STX custom barrel have like a part of the barrel that sits out further, and it's actually machined into the metal. This has a snap ring on it, so it makes it more difficult to do this the way I'm doing it right now without hitting that metal bearing or plastic. All right, and then you want to make sure it's seated all the way in, which it is. And I'm not going to tighten those down until I see where the QD connection sits. I'm going to show you, if I still have it, the original part with the plastic wheel. So this is, oh, it's on here. I got this whole plate came with it. So you see on this plate that this has, instead of mine had a metal wheel, that has a black plastic wheel, which was a problem. I mean, this one actually is the one that broke. I fixed it. I don't remember if I plastic welded it or if I 3D printed it, but now I got a laser 3D scanner. I could take this part off and just make a new one and scan it and print a new one, or even CNC machine a new one. But I don't know why that wasn't in that drawer with the metal parts. But this is all just different pucks and parts for the regulator, and then different jets and a couple O-rings. And these are I custom machined a couple different caliber probes for the Panthera. 25 pounds Panthera. Okay, so the barrel's in. I'm not going to tighten it down yet because I want to see where the quick disconnect sits. So what I am going to do is I'm going to put the shroud back on, and I'm going to put these 4 screws in, and these can get snug down because I can still move the barrel around with this on. So I'm just going to start these by hand. Actually, that one I kind of can't because that archer rail's in the way. That's for when I put this on a bipod. And then that thing sticking off the side, that's for my GoPro. When I put the GoPro on here and get video for you guys while I'm actively out there shooting. And I do have the scope camera too. I have the side shot, and I also have the actual scope camera, which the side shot I don't like very much. I think that especially I'm a little bitter about it because it scratched up my zero compromise, because their 36 millimeter ring was not anodized or powder coated on the inside, and it very well should have been, and that's why it scratched up a $4,000 scope. But you know, I let bygones be bygones. I'm not trying to you know, make a big deal out of it. I'll live. The scope is not affected. The function of it, it's just the aesthetics, which are not my primary concern usually in just about anything. But the function of it wasn't affected, so it's not the end of the world. All right, and then I'm gonna put this QD on here. And then I'm going to see where my suppressor sits. Make sure that's still flush. Okay, I'm going to just take the open end wrench and give it this twist. Just until the barrel twists. There we go. All right, so I want the barrel to end up, I want the suppressor to to end up with the line straight up so that I know when it's completely locked in. So now that I have it there, I'm going to tighten up these set screws. So I just snug them up with the long side, and then I switch to the short side and I give them a good lock in. And then we go back to the same 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And just double check that this is seated properly and moving nicely, and it is. Okay, and then as I was saying before, it's just this red button here, and you pull that down, and then that allows you to slide this right in. Okay, and it'll stay in place. And that's that. All right, so now I'll bring my other 35 caliber magazine out of my truck when I see it there and realize I got to bring it in. But I'll put this up there with those magazines. No, I'll put it in that one. Okay, and I am going to put the same. So I have 2 more of these magazines. One of them is MIA, and the other one is in one of my vehicles. But I have 2 here. I'm going to load these up with the same 40 grain 25 caliber. So, oh, never mind. Here's my other 35 caliber right here. That was brilliant. Anyways, I'm going to load these up with the same 25 caliber 40 grain slugs I was shooting out of the Scout, and we're going to take it to the bench and see what kind of accuracy and velocity we can get. I'll start the downrange camera so you guys can see the accuracy, and we'll see how this girl does. And then I think I'm going to take her with me and put her in the truck. Or, well, I have my Dodge Challenger right now, so I'll put her in the trunk or the back seat of the Challenger, and see what I can kill with it over the weekend, or the remainder of the weekend. It's Saturday afternoon right now. All right, so I'll put you guys back here. I'm going to just leave you for 1 second while I go turn the downrange camera on. This is going to go right here. And, oh, I need my probe that I just fixed. You know, you guys say this to me semi-frequently, and I really wish it could happen, that you guys say, like, when I'm looking for something, you're like, I'm screaming at you, it's right there. I wish to God you guys could do that right now. I wish that one of you guys could yell at me, hey, you left the probe over there. Oh, here it is. That would be a really nice thing, but unfortunately it doesn't work that way. So I'm going to turn the downrange camera on. Let's put the 35 stuff away, and I'll come back and load these up. And then, oh, by the way, so if you get the optimized for slugs magazines, the slugs don't stay in. With the pellet optimized magazines, the pellets stay in and they go in easier. But the slugs and the pellet ones, they go in, but you have to really force them in. So it's probably 1/1000th of an inch difference, if that. I mean, it could be somewhere in the micrometer range. It could be a matter of micrometer. So a micrometer is 1/1000th of a millimeter, which there's 25 millimeters in an inch, so it's a 25,000th of an inch. But you see how easy they slid into that one? So now this is a pellet optimized, and you see it's sticking out, and I have to push it down like significantly. And with the 357, you have to really push it down. Obviously the bigger the caliber, the more difficult the lead is to work with, just like pressing them. And you have to give it a lot more force. So let's put this in and fill it up. Oh, and the other bonus is I can fill it from either side. So I'll put it on this side. Well, tell me that O-ring was too big. Well, let's see if I can just work her in. It may leak, we'll see. I have a backup probe if I need it. Not the end of the world. Nope, no leak. Well, let's see when I turn this on. Oh, it is on. Nope, no leak. Okay. Probably actually stay tighter like that. All right, I'll be right back. Turn the downrange cam on. Okay, and for my own sanity, when I go to line up these videos, 10 seconds from now. For any of you guys who haven't watched my videos before, I have a unique format. My format is that I'm kind of doing my thing and you guys are hanging out and watching, but I'm explaining it as I go so that there is actually some use for you. It's not like you're just watching me do what I want to do. I am doing it to help you guys, so I do explain what I'm doing as I do it. All right, and like I said, it's a hammerless gun, no probe to change. Just change your mag and your barrel and you're good to go. I should have took that knot out of this hose. That would have been easier, but oh well. I'll work with it. All right. No, that's not gonna help. Let's put it down here. Turn the bottle over. Let's see, where does it need to go? Like this. So now I've got the regulator much higher than it was with 25 the last time I had it in 25. So it should be getting some pretty good velocity. All right, the chronograph wants to know, yes, rearm radar. Okay, there we go. All right, we got a full 8-round mag of 25. I'm gonna go for the left hand, one of those bottom two targets. Raise up my monopod, my ultrapod. Okay. All right, center of the left-hand target. Let's see how off we are. Way high, which is to be expected. 985 feet per second. $955. Wow, that was a big drop. $964. Okay, I'm gonna go a little higher with the regulator. Where does my adjusting tool go? Or maybe I'll go back. I don't know why. There's a reason why I had it set the way I had it set before. I don't recall exactly what that reason was. If it was accuracy or consistent velocity. Where the heck did I put that adjustment tool for the regulator? Again, I wish you guys could be screaming out to me, but no such luck. Did I take it in there with me? This is a PEX fitting, so that's not it. I know it looked like it if you guys were able to see it, but it's not. What the hell did I do with it? Let me check if I brought it in here. I don't think I did. Well, I can adjust it with an adjustable wrench if I have to. I prefer to find that if I could, but maybe I need to have them send me another one with the 22 caliber stuff. I'm sure it's around here and I'll find it, but I like to have backup for situations like this because you know, like I said, ADD, and I'm a little all over the place sometimes, so that's part of the deal. So I try to make my life a little easier, back to being a little easier by having duplicates of things so that when I can't find one, I have the other. Oh, I'm turning it down. There we go. Go up to 200. 201, 202, and 202 is close. Okay, let's see what we get here. I'm gonna definitely have to adjust the scope, but I'm gonna just see what I get for velocity real quick. Oh, there it is right there. Son of a bitch. All right, ready, go. Okay, that looks kind of consistent. 982, I like that. Okay, now bring this up. All right, let's see if I can get bullseye now. Oh, close, a little bit more. Okay. That was me. All right, we're gonna go a little right. That was overdue. All right, next mag. Oops. See, this is the slug optimized, which I don't think it's too optimum to have them falling out, but I mean, I guess it's not shoving them in like that. And this is the metal magazine that I bought that was expensive. You kind of need to load it in the gun because otherwise they just fall out. Or maybe I need to just put it in like this. Yeah, that's the only way it's not gonna fall out. So it's almost like you're better off with the pellet if you're gonna be shooting it like I do. I was better off with the pellet because I shoot it mostly in the field with this gun. All right, and 966 was my last velocity. Where's my reg and my tank pressure? 234. Is this bottle that low? Yeah, apparently so. Yeah, I'm gonna have to switch bottles in a sec. This gun does use a lot of air. All right, so I'm gonna go for that same target, see where I can hit. Oh, there we go. I'm a little, one click low. Or it could have been me, but we'll see in a second. There we go. No, it's not cycling. That's the other thing that sometimes some of these magazines do. They give you cycling issues. It's been good since I upgraded all that stuff. It only does it once in a while. That was pretty close. Of course, I jinx myself right now. I'm not sure why it's doing that. Maybe I might not have put the barrel in far enough. That could be it. Let's see. But no, it did cycle with the other magazine. Yeah, it's not with this, it's this magazine. Son of a bitch. There we are. No, it didn't. I have 3 shots left. What the hell? And this thing is really irritating, dude. Alright, I need to turn this thing around and get this not so kinked up because it's driving me nuts. Dude, what is your deal? I wanted it this way too, that's right. What the fuck? That's better. Okay. Oh, you're a son of a bitch. You can be in my way no matter what I do. Alright, I'm going to go for what's left of the red in the center real quick, just to see how far off I am, and then, because I want to get some good shots on that last one, because this shoots dead straight with these. Okay, that was just a little high. I'm going to bring this up and bring the barrel down a little bit. And I'm going to need to switch tanks in a second because I'm not getting enough air. Yeah, let me just do that because this hose is driving me out of my mind. These are awesome. This has an on and off valve and a bleed valve right in the same valve, so you don't have to add two valves like I do on my others. I'm going to probably just bring a smaller tank. And I'll wait until the video's over to fill this because I don't want to have you guys hear this compressor in the background. Even though it's pretty quick. It's that Alcan that I did a video on when I got it, the Mariner. But it's a great compressor, but it's still loud enough to interfere with the video. So here's a perfect example of that thread tapping arm, how damn good it is. I tapped the threads for these fittings. I made these fittings. This is a scuba tank, which is a much bigger thread, and I made it into an M18 1.5 or 1.75, whichever it was, for the actual fitting that goes into the PCP tanks, and it works perfectly. I mean, I've never had a leak. I've never had a problem with it. And those are threads that I made with that threading arm. So they can hold 4,700, almost 5,000 PSI right now, no problem. So that's saying something. All right, we're on our way up from 260. 270. All right, let me load up this other magazine that does rotate. I only have a shot or two left in there anyway, and I should be able to get some better shooting in with this. 4, 5. I just wish these magazines were able to hold more rounds. Like even in 22, they're 8 rounds. I just wish they were like, maybe they could do 10 or 12 in 22, or just make the magazines a little bigger. But I mean, it's a really well-designed gun. I mean, if you change one thing, you might have to change more, and I'd hate to see him change anything else. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna go for that center target again and see where I'm at. I'm high. I can't see where though because of the hole. I'm going to try to aim lower. You're breaking. Oh, this is the same mag. That's why. No, that was low and left. All right. Maybe that one would shoot good with pellets. I have some 46 grain hunting pellets that are pointed, and they're obviously very heavy. Those might shoot good out of that. The one thing is, once you get this gun zeroed, it's zeroed with any kind. You can shoot pellets to slugs, and it doesn't change the accuracy. If at all, very little, because the velocity. I mean, you see, it's like 954. I've had this over 1100, but I had different jets, different puck, different regulator setting. That was when I was trying to see the max I could get. But I did get them. I blew away Wolfie Group, the Edgun in Spain. They couldn't believe the numbers I got, but I sent them the sheets from the chronograph, and they had to believe it. All right, let's see where I am now. I'm gonna aim for that box right there. Oh, I hit it right on. You too, dude? I definitely gotta adjust the barrel. That's gotta be what it is. All right, let me just do that real quick, because this is not gonna stop driving me nuts until I do. So I'll just grab a 3mm screwdriver, do it real quick right there. And honestly, my best recommendation for these, the regular Allen wrenches like that, square end, the ball end you don't really want to use unless you absolutely have to, because they'll strip your screws. Titanium, sorry, that's my silencer that I made. Titanium end screwdrivers like this, which I might not be able to turn this hard enough. No, I torqued that down too much. I'm going to use a titanium bit for my impact, but titanium hex wrenches are the way to go for sure. They're very. I mean, it's titanium, so I mean, I'm sure you know what that means. They're very strong. They don't round out like some of the steel ones, and anything weaker than those definitely will. But they don't do a lot. They don't do damage to the actual screws because they fit perfectly. I mean, see, I'm doing this with an impact, no damage, no problem. As long as you get it in straight, it just turns it, no problem, because it fits perfectly, and it doesn't damage the bit, it doesn't damage the screw. Oh, that one's really tight. But see, it's not moving, it's not damaging anything. Let me turn this thing up. What the hell? It's not turning, it's just stuck there. Let me get my wrench. I think I just need the leverage. I don't know why the impact wasn't getting it though. That's kind of crazy. I mean, it is an M12 though, that's probably why. Trying to take it easy on it. All right, now let me open this, make sure I get the barrel all the way in, because it's got to be a little bit out. That's got to be why it's not cycling. I'm gonna need my rubber mallet. Let me just grab that. All right, so now that all those are loose, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold down the wheel, and I'm going to use this small screwdriver to stick in the middle, so it's got a rubber surface on the back of the barrel, and then I'm going to tap that. It moved ever so slightly, but that ever so slightly is what was preventing it from cycling. So I'm glad that happened, not because I wanted you guys to have to wait through me doing this, but because it's something that you could easily run into if you have one of these guns. And something that small, like it could be a very insignificant amount, what it looks like, but it's not insignificant at all. It'll make your magazine not cycle properly. And it could cause other issues. You just want to have that barrel set in properly. So I should have tapped it in a little harder. I did tap it in, but I just wasn't thorough enough making sure that it was all the way tapped in. So that's on me, but I caught it and fixed it, and that's that. I'm gonna fill those last two so I have a full 8-round mag, and try to get myself dead on so I have this thing ready to go in case I see any squirrels later. Whoa. All right. much easier tank to work with. All right, last velocity was 974. Okay, I'm gonna just go for the black squares until I see where I am and how close, and then I'll put the last mag into that red square. Oh, that's right where I was aiming. That one was high. Okay, I'm high. Let's try that. Now I'm way low. Let's try that. Where the hell did that go? Right where I was aiming, there we go. It runs out so fast. 8 shots go so fast. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, I'm gonna put these into the last red square, because I gotta wrap this video up and get home to my girl. All right. But I will make sure to air this on Monday. It's Saturday. I'll air this on Monday as well as some other content that I haven't been able to put up, so you guys don't think I'm abandoning you. All right, let's see. I need to go down, there we go, or up in the back to go down in the front, and then I'm going for that red square. Are you kidding me, dude? See, and then the other thing is it could be these slugs not being all the way in. That's the only other thing it could be. Because now I know the barrel's all the way in. Sorry about that, guys. The battery on this camcorder died. I usually plug it in, but the batteries usually last a long time, so I didn't think I needed to, but I guess I did. I checked the other one, it's got 22 minutes left, or I mean, it expired 22 minutes, so it's probably got like 7 minutes left by now, so I'm gonna finish up shooting this last target. Okay, so I'm gonna click left. One more. Alright, we'll do one more mag in that same target, and then that's it. I'll wrap it up. But the primary thing I wanted to, well, there's not really a primary thing. I wanted to show you guys both, because I did say to somebody that I would do this video, like showing the 357 and changing the barrel, and then putting it to 25 and showing the accuracy with both. And then the Skout thing, I didn't promise anybody I was going to do the video, but I've been doing videos on it as I modified it, and I found a way to simply update. Like if you have a Skout and your original barrel and an STX liner, I can make these two fittings that will go into your original end cap, which it's hard to do because so you can remove the transfer. I'll show you that at the very end of it. As soon as I'm done with this magazine, I'll show you how you could put the inserts in. All right, so 8 more shots at that target, and let's see how we do. Let's see, where's my pressure? You know what, I'm gonna try turning down my reg because I know there was a reason that I did that, and I want to see what it is. I believe it is probably the accuracy. That's the other good thing about this reg, you can adjust it. You can adjust it both ways. So I'm gonna just turn it down a ways, take a shot. Actually, I'm just gonna switch mags and take blank shots just to get the reg where I want it. .186. I think I was at 180. .178, 179, 180. Perfect. Okay. Let's see what we get with this. Now I'm low. Of course, that's at about 950. Yeah, that's what I usually was, at about 950. Let's see how this goes. All right, I was aiming right about there. Yeah, there we go. All right. You definitely ain't missing a squirrel with those two shots. All right, I feel like you guys didn't get to see the accuracy of it with this, so I'm just gonna do one black square. I'll tell you, I'll call it out. I wish this could be interactive. You guys could tell me what square to shoot. That would be kind of cool. People do those live streams. I wonder, I don't know what it takes, what you have to do them, but that would be pretty cool if we could do some shooting live streams, and then you guys could tell me what you want me to shoot, or like, even like, what type of stuff you want me to blow up with exploding targets or stuff like that. I'm always down to do fun shit. And you know, in the middle of the night, I'll even shoot my 5.56 down here. I'll definitely shoot my 9mm, but my 5.56 I'll shoot even at night. And blow some shit up for real. And like 3,400 feet a second, yeah, you can blow up some shit pretty good. So I'm gonna go for the center line, the center yellow line, towards the left of the target, on the right hand target that I've been shooting with this gun, right in the middle. So there's like 4 boxes in the middle right there. If you're on the center yellow line and you go one set of boxes over on the top and bottom of the yellow line to the left, it's the second and third after that, and not the fourth. So I'm going to go in the center of those 4 boxes. Pretty damn close. A little low. I'm not letting the plenum fill. See, it needs, I can hear it filling. It needs to fill. There we go. All right, I think I need to go 1 click right, 1 click down. Yep, just doubled up the first hole. Which means I'm still a click right. Yeah, it's somewhere in the middle. I wish I could find 1/8 MOA. I mean 1/16 MOA. I think this is 1/8 MOA. I would like to get down to 1/16. This is a Vortex. This is the Viper PST 2-10, which is it's a good scope. It's like a $1,200 scope. It's a really good scope. It's just the zoom is, I mean, it's good for this range. It's I can see plenty, but at longer ranges you need like a 20 zoom or better. Yeah, I gotta go a click left. All right, but that's good enough. You guys can see that it's very accurate, and you're definitely not going to be missing. Forget about squirrels. You're not even going to be missing small birds with this gun. Outside has a truck gun, which is what I use it for. And I mean, it's not a bench rest gun. It's not a competition gun, but and you can't use semi-automatic anyway, or self-indexing, whatever you want to call it. But you know, for a truck gun, for a fun gun, for a pest control gun, it's awesome. And I really like that gun a lot personally. That gun is actually one of my favorites. It really is. It's one of my favorites. So I'm going to show you real quick the barrel system in here. So you know what, this is the only one with the newest modification, so I'm gonna just take it out. Which means I must really like you guys, because I don't like to take things out when they're working perfectly. Unless there's a good reason. So that means that you guys are the good reason. So take off your tensioning parts. Now this is your transfer port, and you have two little bumps on it. And I can show you, I have a bunch of brand new parts from them. So if you guys need a setup, like a whole setup made, I can do that too. So this is the part that seats in the barrel. This is a whole box of them, but these are the parts that sit in the end of the barrel, and they have to be epoxied. And I use 3M structural epoxy. It's like $60 a tube. And you need like the separate gun and needle to use it. It's a really good epoxy. And then here's a box of the front end parts, and those are the end of the screw into the front end, and these are the original screw into the front end, and these are more transfer ports. Let's see. Yeah, this is a 22 transfer port. Okay, so I'm going to show you real quick, and then this is the front end. So you guys would have these in your gun already, in your original barrel. So this in here would go right to your Skout barrel. So let me grab a Skout liner. So this is a Skout. No, that's a FX outer barrel. Let's see. This is a Skout liner. Okay, this is a Skout liner. Oh no, this is for a smaller caliber. This is a 30 cal. I don't know if I have any 30 caliber ones. Oh yeah, I do. This one's 30 cals. Obviously I have they sent me a lot of parts. All right, this is your 30 cal. So this is the 30 cal barrel, and this is the 30 cal. This is the piece that would go into the end of your barrel that you get from the factory. All right, with your little lock nut, and then this threads in, and you have your washers inside, your O-rings inside. So then this slides in here, and it slides in pretty tight. So what I make is essentially basically a piece of this barrel, but it's not rifled, but it doesn't need to be, because all it does is it seats the FX liner inside of it. So say you wanted to go to a 30 caliber STX, it's not going to fit. So I fill in all that play with a piece that's exactly this diameter, and the inside is exactly this diameter. So this seats perfectly into it, and I'll show you in my barrel. That's a 25, but I'll show you it's the same concept. So this can be taken off. The reason I was showing you the 2 tabs is because those can be used with an open end wrench to just turn it right off. That's why they're there. I mean, they do give a special tool, but it's made of plastic, and it didn't even last one removal for me. So I'll probably machine one of my own out of metal, or I'll 3D print one out of like a crazy high temperature material. So I epoxied these on, just so you know, and I'm gonna twist that off with a wrench, and it's not even beginning to think about moving. So that epoxy is extremely strong when I make them completely, like I did with all of mine. Okay, so, oh no, this is a factory FX transfer port. It's in the front that I did it on this one, but I do have another one where I did it on both sides because it wasn't, so the one that they sent me that was modified, they had the transfer port that fit the STX liner, but only for that caliber. So the STX liners are different size on each caliber. But this is essentially, I did the same thing as what I'm about to show you in the transfer port and in the front. I'm gonna need my heat shrink wrapped pliers also. If you guys want a good way to not scuff up your stuff when you have to use pliers, some double wall heavy duty electrical heat shrink is the best thing that I've found. I use Wirefly. They sell it on Amazon. Wirefly makes really good stuff. Really, it's more expensive than any of the other places on Amazon, but it's worth every dollar because it's high quality. It's made very well, and it's a very thick covering. I've been using these same ones on here for I don't know how many different things I've had to remove and put back on, and they're still, they're ripping up a little bit, but they're still intact. Let me get something I can pull this out with that's going to be strong enough to. Probably this dental tool. Yeah, because these O-rings hold this part in there pretty good too. So you see this coming out of here? This is the seat for the FX barrel. And I have a 25 caliber barrel. I have a lot of 25. That's 22. I have a whole tube. One of these tubes is completely full of 25. But I thought I had a piece of the cut one out. Oh, this is the one that I cut for the Edgun. So this goes right into the, you see how perfect that fits? It's tight. So now when that's pushed in and this is pushed in here, it is not moving. All that wiggle that it had, it's gone. So that I machined this piece into here, right? And this I machined on the lathe, and this perfectly seats. So you see how it's 2 different diameters on the inside? So there's one diameter that fits this right up until I want it to stop, so that it'll fit. And I can do this the length of the factory barrel. Like, even though if the factory barrel is a little longer, I can make one of these that will sit in here and it'll be a lot longer, right? So it'll come out maybe like 4 or 5 inches. 4 inches is 100 millimeters. So say it comes out 100 millimeters, because I think he's got a 35 inch barrel, depending on what size barrel you had and what size STX liner you wanted to put in. I would actually have to do the math. I have all this stuff here so I could mock it up. But I would make the same type of system where it has the part that's a little bit smaller than this, so it'll sit right in it. And then the outer diameter will fit this perfectly in it, so it'll be nice and tight as long as it's in this part. So even if it goes further back, I would go still farther enough back that part of this liner is sitting in it, which is something like, so the one that they sent me that they had made at Skout, which it did work great. It just, I saw room for improvement. And it's nothing against Bill. I mean, he's a genius, and he made a great gun. And if any of you guys have met him, you know he's an awesome guy. He's really an awesome guy. But I just saw other ways that I could improve on it, and they're too busy to be doing stuff like that, obviously. So I just did it. But I made the seat go. So I have about a 1/2 inch of this one that goes in there, but that's because the whole inside of the barrel is completely. I mean, if you look in here, you can see there's the barrel. Let me get a light so maybe I can get it on an angle where you can see. Yeah, you can see the aluminum sleeve, and then there's the carbon fiber sleeve on the outside, and then there's first there's the outer liner from FX, then there's the inner carbon fiber from the original FX, and then there's the inner liner. So I machined that aluminum part. I machined the seats on the front and back. Well, this one I only had to do the front, but on the others I did the front and the back. And then there's the carbon fiber on the outside. And the carbon fiber and the aluminum are epoxied together. So on the inside of the aluminum, it goes right to the outer barrel from FX. So that inner barrel from FX is perfectly centered and lined up right where it needs to be in the middle of this barrel. So when I seat it on this, like I can just stick this right onto the end of the barrel like that. It's right onto the end of the inner STX barrel, and then I put this in over it, this isn't the same one. Is it the same one? Oh no, it is. I just took it off of this. So I'm going to tighten this until this gets tight. So that's seating. Like I'm pushing that part down further and further, the more tight it gets, and then it's going to hit the end of this and the end of the STX liner. So once it hits all that, which is right about now, I'm going to just give it one more tighten down with that. Then I'm going to tighten the lock nut by hand, and then I'll give that one twist with the open end wrench. Okay, and this is already back down. So now this is exactly the way it was. But if I'm gonna sell the kits, I'll put them online. But it's gonna be a custom to order, because I don't know, if you guys have a 35-inch barrel, I need to know exactly what barrel you have from Skout, and I need to know exactly what liner you want to put in it, and the caliber. Like even if you're going from a 30 to a 22, that's fine. I can machine it those sizes, but I need to know. I mean, I have 22, 25, 30 in FX. I have all the same in Skout. I have the magazines for all the FX guns, all the major ones, the Pantera, the Crowns, the Impact, what other FX gun? I guess that's all the FX guns I have. I have 2 Crowns, a Pantera, and 2 Impacts. I have all the liners. These are the same liners they use in all their guns. So I can make whatever liner you have is going to be the same as this. I can make that STX liner fit inside of this with just those 2 parts. And then if you want to go further and, fill in the inside of the barrel, because this is a bench gun, there's no reason to keep it light. You know what I mean? Like, it's not meant to be a light gun. It's meant to be on a bench. So the Edgun is meant for that. So it's a perfect contrast and a perfect way to show them both and show the difference, because that is the difference. I mean, this gun is meant to be on a bench, and the Edgun is meant to be in a truck, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I don't know if that's actually what they were designed for, but that's where they fit into, the average person's life. So, anyways, that's my opinion anyway, and I think it'll be yours if you were to try both of them. But anyway, this barrel setup with the STX, I'm really impressed by. And as I said, I have 2 FX Impacts, 2 FX Crowns, And I don't think that, at least in 25 caliber, my 22 caliber, I haven't fine-tuned the Skout 22 caliber either yet. Oh, these are all 22s. This should go in the 30. I haven't fine-tuned the STX 22 caliber in the Skout. So when I do, I'll probably be able to get it closer to this. But my 22 caliber FX Impact, I have really finely tuned. So that's why that one is kind of like perfect as it is. But I'm happy to do it however you guys need it to be done. Like if you want a certain setup, then you can just reach out to me. I'm gonna put this stuff on my website. I'll link my website in the description, but you guys can reach out to me for any specific orders, any specific things that you want made or that you want to do with the gun, and I'll let you know what's possible. And I'm into this stuff, so I'm always eager and happy to explore possibilities that nobody else has. Frankly, that's the part I like the most, is like I like to do stuff that nobody else has yet, because what's the fun in doing the same thing everybody else is doing? I want to break the mold. So if you like breaking the mold, give me a call and we'll break it together. All right, have a good day, guys.